Hello everyone, I'm Auntie Cara, but this video is not for the kids. This video is going to be for the grown-ups. It has come to my attention in the last little bit that there are actually a lot of grown-ups watching my videos with story time, and I feel like in times that we live in right now and the things that are going on in the world, a lot of us are feeling kind of heavy. And I also know that stories can be an excellent escape and an excellent way to process that stuff and to keep a little bit of magic in our lives. So I'm going to start doing book recommendations for the grown-ups. And these are going to be books that I feel capture a bit of that inner child in us. Magic, books that are full of magic, books that are full of the magic of childhood, that are full of some sort of fairy tale element, something that just makes me smile. And I hope they'll make you smile too. So I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these ones. I'm hoping at least one every couple weeks. But if you like them, please let me know. This video is not made for kids, so there will be a comment thread. Feel free to comment if there's any books that you think belong on this list. If I haven't read them, I most certainly will, and give my review. But today's book is going to be The Night Circus, and this is definitely my top 3 favorite books. I think I'd probably put it at my second favorite book, and it's by Erin Morgenstern. I've now read it 3 times, and I have to say it is one of the most beautifully written things I've ever read in my entire life. The magic is just incredible. The imagery, the poetry of the prose is just, it's delectable, like the way it's written. I'm going to share a couple passages with you because I just love it so much, and I think that you'll quite enjoy it. It's not fully light, like there is some dark stuff in there. Some of the magical training can be quite brutal. But that being said, there is a lot of beauty, there is a lot of love, there is a lot of fighting for what you think is right. And there's also a lot of childhood and innocence in one of the patrons of the Night Circus. So the first section I'm going to read to you is one of the tents in the circus that is one of the main heroes, the heroine of our story. And it starts with the tent being called Feats of Illustrious Illusion. The entrance is open, and a line of patrons files into the illusionist's tent. Bailey joins them. Inside, it is lit by a line of black iron sconces along the rounded wall and contains nothing but a ring of plain wooden chairs. There are only about 20 of them, in 2 staggered rows so that the view from each seat is comparable. Bailey chooses a seat on the inside row across from the entrance. The rest of the seats fill quickly, save for 2, the one to his immediate left and another across the circle. Bailey notices 2 things at once. First, that he can no longer see where the entrance had been. The space where the audience had entered now appears to be a solid wall, seamlessly blending with the rest of the tent. Second, there is now a dark-haired woman in a black coat sitting to his left. He is certain that she was not there before the door disappeared. Then his attention is removed from both these events, as the empty chair across the circle bursts into flames. The panic is instant. Those occupying the chairs closest to the flaming chair abandon their seats and rush for the door, only to find that there is no longer a door to be found, only a solid wall. The flames grow steadily higher, staying close to the chair, licking around the wood, though it does not appear to be burning. Bailey looks again at the woman to his left, and she winks at him before standing and walking to the center of the circle. Amidst the panic, she calmly unbuttons her coat and removes it, tossing it with a delicate gesture towards the burning chair. What had been a heavy woolen coat becomes a long piece of black silk that ripples like water over the chair. The flame vanish. Only a few lingering wisps of smoke remain, along with the sharp smell of charred wood that is slowly changing to the comforting scent of a fireplace tinged with something like cinnamon or clove. The woman, standing in the center of the circle of chairs, pulls back the black silk with a flourish, revealing a still intact chair on which now several snow-white now perch several snow-white doves. Another flourish, and the black silk folds and curves in on itself, becoming a black top hat. The woman places it on her head, topping off an ensemble that looks like a ball gown fashioned out of the night sky, black silk dotted with sparkling white crystals. She acknowledges her audience with a subtle bow. The illusionist has made her entrance. A few people, including Bailey, manage to applaud, whilst those who had abandoned their seats return to them, looking both disturbed and curious. The performance is continuous. The displays Bailey has difficulty thinking of as tricks meld into one another. The doves vanish frequently, only to appear on hats or under chairs. There is also a black raven, far too large to have been cleverly concealed. It is only after the performance has gone on for some time that Bailey slowly realizes that because of the circle of chairs, the shape and the closeness of the space, there is no room for mirrors or tricks of the light. Everything is immediate and palpable. She even transforms one audience member's pocket watch from metal to sand and back again. At one point, all the chairs float some distance off the ground, and while the movement is steady and secure, Bailey's toes barely graze the floor, and he clutches the sides of his chair nervously. At the end of the act, the illusionist takes a bow, with a pivoting turn, acknowledging the entire circle as the audience applauds. As she completes the rotation, she is no longer there. Only a few sparkling shimmers remain, echoes of the crystals in her gown. That was my first one. I have one more passage to show you guys. Just a little teaser to hopefully entice you to read it as well. This is one of my favorites. It is these aficionados, these reviewers, who see the details in the bigger picture of the circus. They see the nuance of the costumes, the intricacy of the signs. They buy sugar flowers and do not eat them, wrapping them in paper instead and carefully bringing them home. They are enthusiasts, devotees, addicts. Something about the circus stirs their souls, and they ache for it when it is absent. They seek each other out, these people of such specific like mind. They tell of how they found the circus, how those first few steps were like magic, like stepping into a fairy tale under a curtain of stars. They pontificate upon the fluffiness of the popcorn, the sweetness of the chocolate. They spend hours discussing the quality of the light, the heat of the bonfire. They sit over their drinks, smiling like children, and they relish being surrounded by kindred spirits, if only for an evening. When they depart, they shake hands and embrace like old friends, even if they had only just met. And as they go their separate ways, they feel less alone than they had before. The circus knows of them and appreciates them. Often, someone approaching the ticket booth in a black coat with a red scarf will be waved in without paying admission, or given a mug of cider or a bag of popcorn gratis. Performers spotting them in the audience will bring out their best tricks. Some of the reviewers wander the circus continuously, methodically visiting every tent, watching each performance. Others have their favorite spots, which they rarely leave, choosing to pass the entire night in the menagerie or in the Hall of Mirrors. They are the ones who stay the longest, through the small hours when most visitors have gone to seek their beds. Often, just before dawn, there is no color to be seen in Le Cirque de Rêve, save for the small splash of scarlet. I really, really recommend this book. It's just so beautiful. I don't even know where to begin. Essentially, it's a circus that is created as the culmination of a competition between two very powerful magicians, and not just them, but their proteges as well. And it's just, every time you think it can't possibly get more intricately detailed, it does. And it's one of those books that I feel like fulfilled all the wishes of my imagination, and it just left my heart and my soul and my mind singing. So if you need a bit of an escape, a bit of magic, and a bit of beauty in your life right now, I highly recommend Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And if you read it, please let me know what you thought. The comment thread will be open again, so if you like this and you would like more book recommendations, please hit subscribe and like below. As I said, I'll try to do one every 2 weeks or so. and I already know what I'm going to do next, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the Night Circus. Take care, everyone, and stay magical.